If you're thinking about moving to Tampa, then there's a few things that you probably want to know before you make the move here, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Hi, my name is Alyssa, and I live and work in Tampa, Florida. I am a local realtor here, and I know all the ins and outs of this amazing city, from where the best places are to live, the best restaurants, the best areas to have some fun. And I'm so glad that you're here along for the ride. So if you want to make sure that you stay on top of all of my videos and be the first to know what's going on in Tampa, hit that subscribe button. And for you newcomers to Florida, you're thinking about making a move here, download my relocation guide below and let's get started. So we're going to talk about today the 10 reasons why you would not want to move to Tampa. We're going to start first with the most obvious one, I think, and that's our traffic. You guys, it sucks. No matter what time of the day, you used to be able to time it where rush hour was the worst time for you to go out on the roads. However, with the amount of people that have moved here in the last few years, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, there's always going to be traffic. So you want to make sure that you are adding more time for wherever you need to be to account for that. And it's not just exclusive to our interstates like I-275, I-4, or the Leroy Selman Expressway. Those are probably some of our busiest streets, but our local roads are not exempt from that. Del Mabry is one of the main thoroughfares through Tampa, from South Tampa all the way up to North Tampa. And to be honest with you, that road here in South Tampa was not built to handle the infrastructure that we have right now. And so you're going to have a lot of congestion, possible accidents. So like I said, you're going to want to have to add a little bit more time when you're navigating the city to make sure that you're not late wherever you go. Just to give you an idea of just how bad the traffic is, a recent study said that Tampa drivers lose an average of 34 hours a year sitting in traffic. It's no wonder Tampa was ranked as one of the worst places on earth for traffic. The second reason why you do not want to move to Tampa is our hurricane season. Tampa is located along the west coast of Florida, so our hurricane season runs from June through November. And for a while, Tampa had a 100-year streak going where we dodged a direct hit from a hurricane. That all changed back in October 2024 when we were hit with back-to-back hurricanes. The first one that came through was Hurricane Helene, and she caused catastrophic flooding to a lot of parts of Tampa Bay. Before we could even recover from that or even start to get back on our feet from that, here comes Hurricane Milton. At one point, Hurricane Milton was a Category 5 storm, but thankfully it weakened before it actually hit the coast. But even still, months later, our Tampa beaches are still recovering from the destruction that Hurricane Helene and Milton caused. And it could be more months before we get back to normal. That's definitely something you want to take into consideration when moving here to Tampa. Okay, the third reason why you are not going to want to move to Tampa is our heat and humidity. For people who don't live here, I said the best way to describe our humidity is to go take a shower, don't dry off, and get dressed. That is probably the best description I can give for how bad our humidity is here in Tampa. I don't even bother. My hair is straight right now, but let me tell you what, I'm naturally a wavy hair person. And during our humidity, I don't even know why I bother to do my hair or my makeup, because it just melts off and my hair becomes a frizzy mess. But I digress. But the heat is also sometimes unbearable. It gets super, super hot here in Florida, especially in the Tampa area. And the humidity just adds to it, causing the basically hard for us to breathe. The humidity is terrible here. But fun fact about Tampa is that we have never actually reached 100 degrees on our thermometer. The highest that we've gotten was 99 degrees. And the reason why I've never hit 100, even though, yes, we've had a heat index of 100 degrees, we've never actually hit 100 on the thermometer. Because again, we live on the coast of Florida and the breezes coming off from the water have kept the temperatures down and kept it from rising above 99. So the summertime here in Florida, when it is god awful hot, if you invite me anywhere, I am not coming unless there's air conditioning involved. Reason number 4 why moving to Tampa might not work out for you is the cost of insurance. Florida is notorious for having some of the most expensive homeowners insurance compared to other areas of the United States. And the recent hurricanes that we've had have not helped us at all. Not to mention, car insurance is higher than the national average here in Florida. So if insurance is something that concerns you and you don't want to have to be paying high costs for it, Tampa and Florida in general is probably not going to be the place for you. Reason number 5 why Tampa might not be for you is how expensive it is to live here. During the pandemic, Tampa saw a massive influx of people that moved here, and at one point our home price appreciation was going up at 25 to 30% year over year. Now the market's not like that anymore. We've definitely seen a leveling out of home prices, and rent prices have actually started to come down as well. And while Tampa is more affordable than other major cities, you're going to have to act fast when you see a place and snag it quick enough, and your budget may not stretch as far as you think it will. So if Tampa, living in a major city, is something that you want and it's going to be too expensive for you, there are other options. Tampa has other suburbs around the area, super close to the city, so you can get more bang for your buck while still being close to all the action. Reason number 6 why you might not want to move to Tampa are the alligators. Yes, there are alligators everywhere, and I have people ask me that come here from out of state, Alyssa, how can you tell if there's an alligator in the water? And I've taught them this trick. Anywhere you see that there's a body of water, if you bend down and you touch the water and it's wet, there's a gator in there. So if you want to deal with wildlife, you don't want to deal with bugs and things like that, Tampa might not be for you and Florida might not be for you. Reason number 6 why Tampa may not be the place for you is our limited seasons. If you're somebody who's looking for 4 seasons, and no, I'm not talking about the expensive hotel, Tampa ain't it. We have basically a year-round summer. Our fall gets a little bit nicer where we don't have as much humidity, with our high temperatures typically being in the upper 70s, low 80s. However, we do have some cold snaps. As of the time of this video, we actually had an unusually cooler winter where we saw some high temperatures in the upper 40s, which is kind of crazy for Florida. And we saw snow in northern Florida. Pensacola got 10 inches, and the Destin area also had a couple of feet of snow. So while it's not impossible for it to be cold in Tampa or Florida and for it to snow, it's not likely to happen that often. So if you're somebody who likes to see the crunching leaves, the changing of the leaves, the snow on the ground, and the cold, cold temps, we may not be for you. Reason number 8 why Tampa may not be for you is our lack of public transportation. If you're somebody who likes to ditch the car and just hop on the bus and get around the city, unfortunately, Tampa is not the place for that. Our public transportation is super limited compared to major cities like Chicago and New York. Most people here rely on cars, which just adds to the congestion that I talked about earlier. We do have a bus system called the Heart and the Tico streetcar system, which takes you through downtown Tampa and other areas. But unfortunately, it's not extensive enough for people to rely on for public transportation. But with the new Howard Franklin Bridge that's going to be opening up later in 2025, rumor has it that the old bridge may be used for some kind of transit system, whether it be a train or something else here in Tampa. We definitely would love to see that. And if that's something that you want to keep on top of, then make sure you subscribe and you'll see the video, and I'll let you know when that happens. Reason number 9 why Tampa may not be the place for you is one that I kind of hold near and dear to my heart, but not because I love it. It's because I'm terrified of it. And that is our bugs and our wildlife. Now, I know I already mentioned the alligators, but I feel like the bugs and other wildlife need to be in a category all their own because we have so many of them here. We have cockroaches, we have palmetto bugs, we have snakes, we even have little lizards running around. And believe it or not, we even have an entire season dedicated to some insects that fly around and smack up into our windshields and cover the front of our cars, called love bugs. Don't be surprised if you see bugs in your house like roaches or other things. That doesn't mean that you're dirty. It just means you live in Florida. So if you don't like the creepy crawlies and you don't want to like the thought of little tiny dinosaurs running around outside in your backyard or possibly in your house, we may not be the place for you. And reason number 10 why Tampa may not be for everyone is Tampa's still a growing city, and it's probably just not for everyone. Tampa is evolving, but with growth comes pains like continued rising housing costs, crowded schools, and traffic, which I know we've already talked about. The city's character is a mix of modern and historic, so I personally feel like there's something for everyone here. But if you're looking for something slower paced, then I definitely recommend you checking out the suburbs that surround Tampa. There are plenty of areas that are a little bit quieter, more suburban, and something that might fit better for what you need and what you want. I've lived in Tampa a really long time, so while I just went through these 10 things that could be looked at as negative things about Tampa, it really is a fantastic city with tons of culture, tons of history, and so many amazing things to do. So despite all of this, you still are interested in moving to the area, I'd love to help you with that. So make sure you download my relocation guide below and hit the bell to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of my videos.